Hey everybody, let's talk about pests. Gardens are full of life, but not all of it is welcome. If you've ever watched your lettuce disappear overnight or seen holes in your tomatoes, you've met the hidden guests of your garden pests. Now, as a kid growing up in an urban environment, my only experience with pests was an occasional cockroach that would find its way into our apartment. When my partner and I moved to the countryside and started gardening, we quickly learned that a whole new cast of creepy crawlies had arrived. And while some were beneficial, there were plenty of others that caused damage to our crops. In this series, we will take a look at the most common garden pests, how to identify them, the damage they cause, and most importantly, what you can do about them. But before we get to the first critter in our lineup, let's look at why pests show up in the first place. Most are drawn to stressed plants. Weak, overwatered, underwatered, or nutrient-deficient plants send out chemical signals that attract bugs looking for easy meals. Unhealthy soil and lack of biodiversity also create the perfect environment for pest invasions. For instance, a lack of beneficial insects or birds can allow populations of normally kept in check pests to explode. Other pests overwinter in soil or nearby weeds, waiting for spring to strike. So knowing a little bit about your pests helps you stay one step ahead. Today we're going to look at 6 pests that commonly attack vegetables, herbs, flowers, and fruit. Coming up, one of the most universally hated pests are aphids. These tiny sapsuckers love tender new growth, and as such, they often crowd onto plants with young leaves. Aphids often congregate on tomatoes, peppers, lettuce, and roses, where they weaken the plant by sucking away valuable sugars and nutrients. In addition, their honeydew, aka their poop, can promote the growth of sooty mold, which further stresses the plant. Aphids come in a variety of colors, from green to black to brown to yellow, and may be small, but they reproduce quickly, doubling their population in as little as 5 days. There are many kinds of aphids, and each has different preferred host plants. Aphids use a plant sap as both food and drink, and they slurp up their meals using specialized mouthparts called stylets. Stylets are like straw-like mouthpieces that have a bundle of 6 hollow needles bundled together. When an aphid inserts its stylet into a plant's tissues, the needles spread apart, creating a wound that allows the aphid to feed on the plant's sugary sap. Aphids excrete their honeydew from the tip of their abdomen, which can drip onto lower leaves and stems. Honeydew also evaporates and can form a film on the upper surface of leaves. Both the honeydew and the film become covered with sooty mold, which grows in the honeydew's high sugar concentration. Left untreated, aphid infestations can severely damage plants. The good news is that aphids have many natural predators. Ladybugs, lacewings, parasitic wasps, and hoverflies eat aphids, as do birds and even some species of frogs. While you may have to deal with a few chewed-up leaves as part of their life cycle, these beneficial critters help control pest populations and keep your garden healthy. Fortunately, there are several ways to get rid of aphids without harming these helpful friends. We'll explore those options and more in future episodes. Stay tuned. Slugs and snails are gastropods, which means they belong to the same family as land snails and slugs. As gastropods, they share common characteristics such as a muscular foot, a head with 2 pairs of tentacles, and most obviously, they have no shell. Some slugs secrete a slimy mucus that allows them to glide along surfaces. Others, like the gray slug, have a thick skin that makes them well adapted for dry environments. Regardless of their physical adaptations, slugs and snails are primarily active during wet, cool periods of the day, like at night and early in the morning. They typically seek shelter during the heat of the day, hiding in moist areas like under rocks, boards, or in mulch. While they may seem cute, slugs and snails can be garden pests. They're notorious for chewing through leafy greens like spinach, basil, and cabbage. They also prefer young seedlings to mature plants, though they'll happily munch on any vegetation if they're hungry enough. Like most pests, slugs and snails are attracted to unhealthy plants. So keeping your soil rich, diverse, and balanced is the best defense against them. Unfortunately, slugs and snails lay eggs in protected areas, so there's often a fresh crop of pests ready to invade. Whiteflies are small insects that cluster together on the undersides of leaves. They suck plant juices and excrete a sticky substance called honeydew. That stuff promotes sooty mold, which weakens plants and makes them look pretty nasty. Whiteflies come in various sizes, ranging from 1/2 inch to 1/16 inch long. Their life cycle consists of 4 stages: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. Whiteflies spend the first 2 stages on leaves, sucking plant juices and growing. Once they reach the pupal stage, they drop to the ground and pupate in leaf litter or soil. Adults emerge from the pupal stage and fly back to the host plant to lay their eggs and begin the cycle anew. Whiteflies are found all over the world and attack a wide range of plants, including cucumbers, squash, and eggplants. Hot, dry weather favors whitefly development. If left unchecked, whiteflies can weaken plants, distort leaves, and reduce fruit yields. Heavy infestations can even kill plants. Luckily, there are ways to fight back. Again, we'll talk more about those later. Cabbage worms are the larval stage of the large white butterfly and the small white butterfly. Both butterflies are white with black markings on their wings. They're similar in appearance and can be difficult to distinguish. The larvae or caterpillars of these butterflies are the cabbage worms. These fat, hairless, greenish-gray caterpillars are about 2 inches long when full grown. They have black or orange stripes along their sides and may be difficult to spot due to their color. Cabbage worms can cause significant damage to cruciferous vegetables like kale, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts. They achieve this by chewing holes in leaves, stems, and buds, causing stunted growth and reduced yields. Cabbage worms also leave behind a slimy residue as they munch on plants. This residue contains bacteria that can rot leaves and further damage the plant. Spider mites are arachnids related to ticks and spiders rather than true insects. True insects have 2 main body parts, a head and a thorax, while arachnids have 8 legs and 2 body parts, the cephalothorax and the abdomen. Spider mites are barely visible to the naked eye. They measure around 1/40th of an inch long and are often red or green. They live on the undersides of leaves and spin fine webs between them. Spider mites thrive in hot, dry conditions and are known to attack a variety of plants, including beans, strawberries, tomatoes, and houseplants. Their feeding weakens plants by removing chlorophyll and other essential components from leaves, resulting in yellowing and wilting.
Ow!
In severe cases, spider mite infestations can cause plant death. Spider mites reproduce quickly and can cause extensive damage in a short period. Because of their size, they can be difficult to spot, making early detection challenging. If you suspect spider mites are attacking your plants, contact your local cooperative extension office for assistance with identification and treatment options. Cutworms are the larval stage of certain types of moths. They are typically 1 to 2 inches long and have distinct diagonal stripes running down their bodies. During the day, cutworms hide in the soil or among crop residues. It's at night they emerge to feed on crops. Cutworms can cause significant damage by chewing through seedling stems, leaving behind a notched or diagonal cut. They feed on a wide variety of crops, including tomatoes, lettuce, corn, onions, beets, and broccoli. Their activity can stunt plant growth and reduce yields. In severe cases, cutworm infestations can result in complete crop loss. Japanese beetles are stout, oval-shaped beetles with glossy, metallic green bodies. Adults grow to about 1/2 inch long and have a copper-brown color with 6 to 10 black tufts on their thorax and abdomen. They often skeletonize leaves, causing noticeable damage to plants. Japanese beetles are considered a major pest in the US, Japan, and parts of Europe and Asia. They can attack a wide variety of plants, including roses, grapes, beans, and more. Not only do they feed on plant leaves, flowers, and fruit, but they can also transmit diseases that further damage plants. Squash bugs are large, shield-shaped stink bugs with an unpleasant odor. They typically range from 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch in length and display a combination of yellow, orange-brown, and black colors. Squash bugs feed on a variety of cucurbits, including zucchini, pumpkins, summer squash, and pumpkins. They insert their needle-like mouthparts into plants and suck away the sap. This feeding can cause wilting, stunting, and the development of black spots on leaves and fruit. Squash bug eggs are laid in a row on the underside of leaves and are covered with a brown tar-like substance. Well, there are dozens more pests that can plague your garden. These are some of the most common. Check back soon for the next episode of Pest Patrol, where we'll look at more pests that can invade your garden. Next time, we'll explore how to identify the culprits attacking your plants. Then in the following episodes, we'll talk about what you can do to stop them. To learn more about these or other pests, visit our website. You'll find links to resources in the description below. And be sure to subscribe for timely reminders about upcoming episodes. See you next time.